I did. I really did.
You're a monster, dude.
Buy anything on terms.
You're right. TV, shit. Car. Hold on, let me do this. All right, Matt, you were saying, go ahead while people are logging on. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying I just bought a appliance business. It's been in business here where I live locally for about 60 to 70 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of came, as even though you're doing real estate and all this, people see your success, I guess, and know that you're a business person, and they just start throwing you deals. I get deals all the time that aren't on the market. Guys just, people go, hey, do you know anybody that may be interested in a pizza place or a restaurant or a
Mm-hmm.
whatever? And
Whatever.
a realtor friend of mine came across and said, hey, man, got a guy interested in selling this appliance business, been around for years, and they have contracts for all the Lowe's, Home Depots, Walmarts, everybody within about a 70-mile radius, all the warranty contracts, the whole 9 yards. Does pretty good. Guy's he owns some other businesses, just kind of wanted out. So I bought the whole business. It generates about $65,000 a month, and it's got a lot of upward potential. And I got a fleet of trucks and 20 employees now, and didn't give a dime. Not a dime changed hands at closing. I bought it all on terms. So bought the whole business on terms.
Now, I had another friend of mine that had a Walmart contract, if you will. He would buy all the trade-ins. Is that what you're doing?
Say that one more time. He had what kind of trade-ins?
He would get all the Walmart returns or damaged stuff. He had to buy all of them, but he had to buy them from like the whole area or a certain region of the state or something.
I can do that, and I want to do that. I mean, there's what I'm learning now. I didn't know anything about appliances. I just own them like everybody else.
Yeah.
There's a very tremendous markup. And I mean,
how much is it?
It's a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I can buy a scratch and dent, they call it, brand new $2,500 refrigerator for $200, and it may have a dent in the back of it, and then resell it for about $1,800, $2,000, and now I'm hooked up with a leasing company. Somebody can walk in. Let's say I'm going to charge $2,000 for a refrigerator I bought for $200. They put down $50. The leasing company gives me my full $2,000 the next day. They do the repo. They do everything. And if they repo it, they bring it back to me. I owe nothing back, and I can sell it now, and I get half the commission.
So that's almost like financing a car. The loan company is going to take the car dealership out.
Yep. And I get it, and they bring it back to me. So, like any other American, I sell a fridge hoping to goodness it's going to get repo. Yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's always something. I'm looking at a pizza place, and I don't know nothing about. I'm not a big pizza fan, but
only thing you know about it is how to eat it.
I know how to eat it for sure.
Sound like Ron.
Man, if something's making money, and what do they say? The average millionaire has at least 7 sources of income. So
I'm telling you, dog.
I'll add as many as I can. So I figure I'm not average. I need about 15 sources. So,
man, you need a brain transplant, man. That is crazy.
I do. But I did it. The ink's dry, man. I own it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I hired a general manager. I know nothing about the appliance business, but I understand taxes and I believe in math. So if you know those two things, I think we're doing all right. So no, I'm excited, man. So that's something. But I'm still buying houses. Got one this morning. I think I got it this morning.
That one you went on. Tell me about that one.
That is an inherited house. Guy had it, and his parents lived there. He inherited, let his little brother. I got that house buying a new phone, man. You know how stuff just leads to stuff. I needed a new phone. I'm at Verizon, and what do you do for a living? And here's what I do. Man, my brother's got a house. Okay, we'll have him call my acquisitionist. Bam, bam. Next thing you know, a week later, I'm there making an offer. The guy refinanced it. It's one of those classic. He has to have 62 to pay it off. It's not worth 62. Needs a little bit of work, but it's livable. But I said I'll buy it subject to. I basically said, look, a flipper. The math won't work for a flipper. The math won't work for an investor. No one's going to be able to get financing for it. I'll buy it subject to. And it looks like he's going to do it. So
nice.
And I know we've got a list in that area. It'll be gone. So I'll probably get about 5,000 down for it and make about a $300 a month spread. I'll take 10 more of those every month. Thank you very much.
You know what? I wear my weight. Do you have T-shirts and shirts and paraphernalia, Mike?
No, I do have a bright yellow one that says I buy houses. I never wear them or anything. I'm not against it. I just don't ever wear them.
Yeah, same thing. Well, all you're doing is getting people to talk. Just open up your mouth.
Yep, exactly. But I run my mouth enough. I don't need a T-shirt, I don't think. If you're sitting next to me at Dairy Queen and don't say anything to me, I'm going to fake a phone call, make sure you know what I do for a living. I've got 6 kids to feed, man.
I would love to see your wife's face when you say that. She was to Matt Lyerla. This is so cool, man. I'm glad you Lyerla.
There it is. Look at him.
I'm rocking it. Class. Man. Thanks for joining us today. This is Matt's second time. He graciously gave us an hour to hang out with him today. Matt, you're not just a real estate guy. You know, when I think about you and even myself now, you know, I used to just be a real estate guy to the death. You know, if you told me real estate, I would fight over real estate, you know, but now I'm looking at just business in general, man. And I think that's kind of where you're at. Yeah. You're looking for ROI. Is it just like you have this goggles on your head looking for value and ROI, or what are you looking for when you're out there?
Absolutely. And like I said before, man, Chris, like so much of it, it's like anything else that or not, you get out there long enough trying to stir stuff up in real estate or whatever, stuff starts to find you. And a lot of stuff just finds it. But yeah, anything with ROI, I like it when it's something totally different.
Yeah.
I know nothing. Because you never know when this fails, this happens, this happens here. You know, you just never know what can happen. So I like to have it from sources that are, you know, and in this particular case, the numbers make sense to where I could probably flip the business pretty quick if I wanted to, but I plan to hold it long term for now, see what happens. So
plus you got financing on it. And tell me about how are you feeling about this internet business, e-commerce, Matt? How is that making you?
It's doing really well, really well. I've got a crash course in it. You know, I feel like Russell Brunson's like my little brother I never had, which that guy's a genius.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome, man. I've got some great mentors like you, and Blair Halver has helped me a lot, who has a great program, and a Ron Legrand guy. So real fortunate, still trying to figure it out, man. Like anything else, just get better. And so we've got that. We've got the podcast. I've got the appliance business. I've got still do music stuff where I do sessions. You know, I still have the full studio, so I'm still down there a couple times a week, laying down tracks for guys and email them back. I mean, I've just got all kinds of stuff going. So
you rocking and rolling with Pro Tools?
Yeah, I actually use Studio One. I left Pro Tools makes you buy so much crap now, and that I moved to because I've got PreSonus stuff, so I just moved to Studio One. It's a lot easier. But yeah, same concept. Yeah,
gotcha. Okay, that's interesting. You still, well, I'm thinking about you in the internet business. It's like you can do something in internet, or let's say internet now is almost like media, if you will, just almost just like we're doing now, just media. So you do real estate and media. That business you just bought, media, that would be a nice little reality thing there, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. Way down here in Kentucky, huh?
I'm just saying with the can you imagine rolling on? Well, today we get ready to go take back a refrigerator.
Which one is it? Fourth trailer on the left. Not only are we repoing the fridge, Matt also owns the trailer that we're repoing the trailer. We're just going to repo the whole. I'm going to repo the trailer just to get my fridge back, man.
Unbelievable, man.
But you learn stuff, man. I've learned, you know, the average. You don't think about this stuff. The average person has 6 appliances in their house. You know, so washer, dryer, refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, stove. So you think every house has 6 appliances, so it works out pretty good.
I never even thought about it. You know what? I haven't used my washing machine. It's been Well, yeah, you're right. I still got other stuff though. I mean, everybody has.
Yeah,
Wow.
everybody does. This was pretty neat. But don't think I'm not going to train my crew to every time they see a for sale sign and they're out, that I'll offer some incentives to bring those numbers and those addresses back. So now I've got a bunch of people on the road going to these different houses, and just one more thing. So it's exciting.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it. Something different. But yeah, e-commerce, man.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, gosh, it's awesome.
Well, before we start, class, I'm waiting for everybody to chime on. Matt, I'm thinking about a house, right? And I'm giving a little bit of the game now that I'm going to do a class on e-commerce. But a house I buy, I might get $300 a month. I'm like, Matt, these internet, as you know, these guys are doing $300 an hour. I mean, it's just
easy.
That's just average.
Mm-hmm.
Let's boil it down to just, if we could just do 100, just for the newbies, $100 a day extra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could change somebody's life right there, Matt.
Oh, absolutely, man. And it's just, we've talked about before. I decided to dabble in Shopify. We made money in just a few days, man. It's crazy. And it's hard, but it's simple, which I know is a contradiction, but it's difficult. It's something new. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really like learning a new language.
Is it the concepts and the principles that
I think it's just you've never done it? What in the world is retargeting? What is this? What in the world is that? And the stuff inside Facebook and Instagram that you never know existed.
Yeah, dude.
And the power up. I'm one of those. Hey, I was like, yeah, I could probably do without Facebook, but I make way too much money off of Facebook to ever shut it down. I mean, mm-hmm. Facebook makes me a lot of money. There's no doubt. It can make a lot of people money, no matter what business you're in.
Yeah. Now, were you a Facebook? Well, for me, I was a Facebook social media hater.
You better figure it out. So
until about 18 months ago, were you embracing social media at the beginning, Matt?
Yeah, I've always embraced social media. My wife says I'm a techie. I don't think I am, but that doesn't mean I was good at it. But I embrace, like, in other words, I know it's important, and I would get people to do it. The problem is, man, it's like, I used to when I was a financial advisor, I had a managing partner who said it best. We'd always need these tech guys for the office. So here you have a bunch of financial advisors, and then you bring in these computer guys whom you have to interview for a job. You don't even know what to ask them. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, so are you efficient in, I mean, you don't know how to qualify these people.
It's changing.
Yeah. So for me, it's the same. It's hard when you're looking for a social media person or someone you can depend on. They can tell you that you don't know how to inspect. You don't know.
Wow.
You know what I mean? If I hire someone to sell my houses, I know exactly what to ask them, how to evaluate them, how to inspect what I expect. I don't have any idea, or didn't have any idea, how to do it with a marketing person or a social media person. So you better get smart on it yourself. At least you better know what to ask and how to ask it, and what you're looking for.
Well, hence the burden of an entrepreneur, man. We got to know a little bit about taxes, marketing, real estate, business. Now this.
Yeah, and people will take advantage of you quick. You have to. Have to. I mean, I can't take. And now, you talk about e-commerce. I can talk about this all day because I'm immersed in it now, and I've read so many books. I've probably read 6 or 7 books in the last just few weeks, and or started them anyway. And there's so many, even, local or national people that say, oh, I'm a Facebook marketer and I do all this. And you see what they're doing. You're like, man, I'm light years ahead of you. And I read 2 books, but I took 1 course. I watched one guy, Chris Haskins interview. I mean, they're not doing anything.
That scares me to death. That social media expert, man. I'm like, dude, I don't know about that. But that is, to me, that is a legitimate business now, though, brother.
Absolutely. No doubt. Extremely important. You have to play. You have to play. I don't care who you are. But that said, it's awesome. I mean, you should definitely not think of it as a, and I talk to my students about this all the time because my marketing classes will come out. And we're not even, and some of them aren't even in the advanced part yet. They're just in the simple stuff where I'm teaching some Facebook stuff and how to do that. and they'll call with 1 million questions, me and my team. What I think now is something very simple, but just simply adding something on Facebook or simply tweaking one thing, and it's a huge difference in the people it reaches and the money it can generate.
Yeah.
And then you start watching people. Once you learn this stuff, you start watching other people going, they're selling a motorcycle or something. You're like, oh gosh, they're just kind of throwing it out there and hoping for the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not how it is, man. And if you know how to do it direct and deliberate, purposeful, how to track it, well, man, you can make a lot of money. You should be making a lot of money. And I don't care what you do.
You're right. I don't care if you're making peanut butter, honey. How about a honey expert, Matt?
Yeah, I don't care. Expert. Yeah, here's how you get the bees out of the hive.
It's real.
Somebody out there wants to know.
You daggone right they do, Matt.
Look at Russell Brunson. Right. What he said? He made potato guns. He had a video how to shoot potato guns.
Potato guns, man. If you can sell that, dude, you should be able to sell anything.
I mean, I grew up. We already knew how to do that crap, man. So
when I was growing up, we used to shoot fireworks at each other. We had guns and fireworks.
Bottle rocket fights, man. Roman candle fights. Oh, I got
you
stories.
Did that craziness. All right, class. I'm hanging out with Matt Lyerla. Thank you, Edward, for your love offering. Daniel Barrett, Edward Porter. Thank you, class. Thank you, guys. Edward, do I owe you something? Email me again if something I needed to give you. Let me close my front door. We got somebody, landscapers here, man. I'll be right back.
Man, he should have never left me alone with you all. I could say anything right now, and there's nothing he could do about it. I mean, I could talk about how he needs to collar down. Oh, there he is. I told him you messed up, man. You left me alone with him.
Are you good, man? They're in good hands. I got to close the door. The landscaper's coming. Matt, today, just give us a background here. I know you were on here before, but I got to just say it, man. We're talking about those 200 units. Why should people listen to you, Matt? I know why, but just tell us a little bit about your background. You've been doing some amazing things.
Yeah, man. So I'm a retired military guy. I got in real estate, very successful with subject to creative financing. I'm actually working on a book right now called The Art of Creative Financing. I think that's what I'm going to call it. I've already written a report on it, but
nice. Okay.
Man, just really how to get in there, how to buy homes and packages, and how to make money. Whether it's my whole concept that I teach is called Read the Defense. So and I may have talked about it on the last one, but quickly when a quarterback comes up to the line, a football player, and he knows the play, if he's supposed to walk up and read the end. If he knows the pass is supposed to go over here, he's looking at all the defense, and then he takes what the defense gives them, right? Where quarterbacks get in trouble is when they walk up and decide they are just going to throw the ball over here without reading the defense, and it gets intercepted, right? So it's the same way when we talk to sellers, we're taking what the defense gives us. Depending on their motivation, tells us whether it's going to be a flip, a owner finance, a subject to, this or that, whatever the case is. So we read the defense. No predetermining how you're going to buy a property when you go in there, or your exit strategies. So
I like that, predetermined, because I remember starting out, I was wholesaling only, and it's almost like if you walk around with a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, absolutely. So that's it, man. We teach how to do it, how to buy them in bundles, how to use all different methods, from Airbnb to online auctions, owner finance, subject to. And now I have students having just unbelievable success. So I'm excited about that now, man. It truly is better to get and you know this, to get a call from a student holding a $20,000 check, or $10,000 check, taking a picture, sending it to you, and you know that you had something to do with that. It's better than getting a $10,000 check yourself. So. So yeah, it's exciting, man.
Much better. My biggest thing is when they actually buy the house and maybe they move in, but the money's cool, but I'm like, now you got an asset where you never would have thought in your lifetime you would ever buy a house.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I got a student now just closed. He's getting a contract on about a $1.1 million home, and this thing is just, it's nice. I mean, it's like your house probably, just a big old mansion, and they're leaving all the furniture. I mean, it's just crazy, man.
They're gone.
It's crazy. Just because they're Taking knowledge that they have and applying it, man, getting out there and doing it. So
nice. So class, you know I'm here. If you don't know me, I'm Chris Haskins, and my mission statement, my ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Matt is going to be sharing with us some of his tips and tricks and strategies today. And to be honest with you, Matt and I talked, I guess, last week, and we just want to pour value into the marketplace. Is that where we're at, Matt?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. They poured it to me.
Mm-hmm. The more you give, the more you're blessed. It's really, really ironic how that works. Yep. Don't forget, while we're hanging out, class, don't forget to hit that. Oops. Hit that subscribe button and smash the thumbs up. Matt, how are you going about looking for this? The first thing we wanted to talk about was a little bit about your marketing. Matt, you want to get into some of that?
Yeah, buddy. You got anything specific marketing you want me to start, or I can't see the feed and Jeff's not with me today, so.
You should be okay. If you can't see the feed, Matt, go to another window. You want me to email you the link?
Well, if somebody has a question, I want to be able to glance over and see it. That's all.
Yeah, they're already coming in. So I'm gonna email you the link to the live, because all you have is the
Here, that's okay. I got dual screen. Email me the link.
Yeah, I'm coming to you right now.
But yeah, man. I'll talk about marketing, and it sounds like my house, man.
You know what? They don't say they're quiet as a mouse.
What kind of dog is it?
It's something called a Maltipoo.
It's obvious. Yeah, we'll talk about that offline, man. Because it sounds like a masculine dog.
Well, my pit bull died, right?
Yeah.
I said no more dogs, right? And my wife's like, I don't want a dog. So I'm gonna put them outside, Matt. Let me put them outside. I'm gonna let you start cranking real quick about marketing.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about marketing, and I'm gonna cover it in a couple different things, and a lot of stuff that comes up with my students, and that is, one, how to market to find property. How can we find properties, and how can we use social media, websites and stuff to get those properties, or to get what I call the phone to ring and the door to swing. Get traffic coming to you, and then on the flip side, how we can market our contracts and market properties that we have for sale. So that's kind of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today. And just try to answer for me and take it from there. So
you said the door swinging to you. What did you mean by that?
I said the phone to ring and the door to swing. In other words, get people calling us, get people tuned into us.
Why is that important, Matt? I mean, just so people that, why is that important that they're contacting you, brother?
Well, because one, it makes it a lot easier.
Are you frozen?
Yep. So it makes it a lot. Sorry, I had to turn that off because it was double feeding. So
just mute it. Just mute it, Matt. Mute it.
I tried and it threw it off. So I'll drive on. You tell me if there's a question or not. So
okay, we'll get on. We'll do Q&A at the end, class. Okay. Listen to Matt's keynote, then we'll do some Q&A at the end.
Yeah. So anyway, phone to ring, door to swing. We want we want traffic coming in, man. We want to make this as easy as possible, but we want consistency. We're also wanting to build a following and stuff like that. So no doubt, man. We want. Man, it's like anything else. You use so many different things, bandit signs and just any other kind of advertising or paid things that you do. But the kind of thing that we focus on, it's nothing new, and you hear it all the time, but are you doing it right, man? It's just that social media and Facebook marketing. Are you doing it right?
Tell me a little bit about that, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it's its own beast. Gosh, it's why it's its own module in our program. But so one of the things I think I'll start, and for some people it probably isn't new, but for a lot I find it is.
Mm-hmm.
And are you doing, when you do something on Facebook, whether you're trying to get sellers to call you or motivated sellers to come in, or whether you are marketing your property, are you doing targeted marketing on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing targeted marketing, and are you doing retargeting? All right. So in other words, if you have a website and people go on your website, now you can obviously do Google Analytics and some different things to gauge the traffic And guys, I am not, I'll give this caveat. I am not an analytical at all. I'm extremely conceptual. However,
because it's just you.
Yeah, up until the point that I want numbers. And what I'm telling you is you have to know your numbers. You need to know the numbers when it comes to this. If I ask you how many people are visiting your website a day, you need to know. Because you have no idea, or how many people are visiting your Facebook a day, how many people are doing this a day. Because if not, you have no idea where to fix it. So if you go, well, I threw some Facebook ads out there, but I got no calls coming in. You can't analyze how to fix where the breakdown is. Is the breakdown the audience? Is the breakdown where it's at? Is the breakdown the ads you used? Is the breakdown that they're not even getting to your website? On and on. You better know that stuff. And it's pretty easy to do. Like things like, are you adding a Facebook pixel to your website? And you can YouTube how to do that, but are you adding that so it links it back to your Facebook? And for those of you that don't know, all it does is when someone visits your website, that pixel immediately feeds it over to Facebook, and then you can retarget them. They've been to your Facebook, that they're an active listener and they have interest, and then bam, then you can put them on your if you have a mail list thank you, your autoresponder, you can do all that. But the important thing is, if that's being fed from a Facebook ad, let's say you have a Facebook ad. So I put an ad out that says and here's what you see people do, man, common mistake. And you may get deals from this, but here's what people do. They put out an ad and it says, we buy houses. Okay. And they put their phone number. They put their personal phone number. For God's sakes, don't put your personal phone number. Get you something that can track those calls, and autoresponder for you with a message, whatever it is. It could be a Google line, a GoDaddy line, a CallRail, whatever it is. Okay,
anything but your own phone number.
Anything but your own phone number. Right? Or, your ex-wife's phone number. Just anything. But once you do, okay, you may get some calls, right? And then when you put that on Facebook, really, you're just kind of crossing your fingers and hoping that, someone in your network and your friends there is sharing that, and that they're sharing that, and that they're sharing that. A lot of people think, that's how a lot of videos and stuff go viral. Well, as well as I do, usually there's money behind videos going viral. But the other thing is, so if you put that out there, we buy houses. And then on Facebook, you have to tell it your intent. All right. So you have to tell it, and you can tell it, that I'm trying to get likes. I'm trying to get people to engage in conversation, or I'm trying to maybe lead them to my website. So let's say that's what you're trying to get them to do. The obvious is you're trying to get them to call. That's the offer in that ad, right? So when you go into Facebook, you need to go into the ad. You need to do targeting. You need to pick the demographic. You need to tell it. You need to be very specific, is what I'm getting at. So you need to be specific to the demographic, and you can type in your in geography. You can type in the city, the town, wherever you're trying to reach, whatever market you're trying to reach needs to be specific. If you live in Cleveland, Ohio, and you're looking for houses in Cleveland, Ohio, then your ad needs to be Cleveland, Ohio. Maybe you're adding the counties that are around it. And then you're the demographic. Hey, I'm looking for people. I know there's no 15-year-olds that are going to really send this in, but so maybe I'm looking for 40-year-olds to 65 plus. And here's what I'm looking for. I recommend, if Facebook recommends you spend $20, just go with the recommendation, because you want to do trial and error on these things, right? So you do that, you put the ad out, bam, it's out. Now if someone clicks or goes to your website from that ad, once they hit your website, that Facebook pixel tells them. The point is, you can track, that ad's working. All right. So now you can put money behind it, or now that you can use it later. Now you can do whatever. But if you're just kind of putting it up in the air and hoping that it works, hope is not a strategy. Right. And that's what now sometimes it works. Right. But the point is, you want to be very strategic in how you're doing that, both buying and selling. It's the same way with Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram. It's the same database, right? But you need to be very specific with that.
So we're doing a 1-2 punch, Matt. Are we still, well, for you, I know for me, I still do direct mail. Are you doing that also?
Yeah, we do direct mail. But as you know, the deal with direct mail is you better be doing the follow up. You better be, again, very specific. I recommend when you do the direct mail, you also hit it with a Facebook campaign at the same time, because maybe you hope, if I send to Davidson County, Tennessee, which is Nashville, Tennessee, if I do Davidson County, then I know those mailers are going out Monday. Then you better run about a 10-day ad on Facebook, We Buy Houses, make it look very similar, targeted. And on Instagram,
Wow.
On those mailers, if yeah, because what better if someone gets a mailer and then sees you on Facebook to solidify who you are and what you are, right?
That's sharp, man. Say that again, Matt. If somebody might have missed that, say that again, though. That's worth the fee today.
So if you're doing direct mail, send your direct mail out. And for me, I'm more of a rural person, but if you're in a big city or in a bigger populated area, you can dive down even more. But if you send, let's say, for a certain county and you're doing high equity absentee, list or something like that, you need to do and those mailers mail out Monday. You better do a 10-day Facebook ad, make it look very similar, same company name, same message is what I'm getting at. Same message. Obviously, it's broad because the mailers you're sending out are specific to the address, but just a broad deal gives you one more piece that now maybe someone went to the mailbox, sees your mailer, and then bam, all of a sudden they see you on Facebook and it solidifies, hey, this is a real person, this is a real company. And as you know, you can do it for next to nothing. Now with direct mail, if you're being very specific, there's people in Dallas, Texas, and Jacksonville that are targeting specific neighborhoods. Well, it's even better. Well, guess what? Now I can do a Facebook ad for next to nothing, but I can I can easily get on Instagram and do an Instagram. The name is, when you're on Instagram and it gives you the border, I cannot think of the name of that.
I don't either, brother.
You can do a targeted border for a neighborhood.
Wow.
So when someone gets on Instagram to do a message, your border of whatever you put on that border comes up while they're doing that. Mm-hmm. So again, if you know that mailer, you're just hitting them with a 1-2 punch, and then you're doing the follow-up. So
here's the thing, man. I'm not only investment property. My thing is I'm telling people this is how I'm buying my houses where I'm living from now on. Because I know people they don't have any equity. I'm going to go and buy your house to live in subject to, Matt.
Absolutely. That's the way I got mine.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's an awesome strategy. So how are we linking the two here? Is there
2 million, 1.1 million? Crazy.
What'd you say?
The house I live in, it praises it like 1.1 million, 1 million, 1.1, 1.2 million, and I got it for less than 7. Just because, subject to, they wanted $50,000 down. I said no, and their counter was okay. True story.
And no doubt you walked back in time for the amortization of the loan.
Of course.
Yeah. Class. I wish I could tell you the power of subject to. Good God. I don't think we can get into all that today, Matt. If somebody wants to get some of your training, Matt, we've got a link below. Give us a quick example. Just are you going to cover subject to if somebody wants to come get some training from you and coaching, Matt?
Yeah, man. So in the All In University, and they can also find it from, we have the All In University podcast. We talk about these same types of things like you. And actually, you're going to be a guest, graciously enough. You're coming soon on the All In Investors podcast. But yes, so we broke it down into different modules. So we cover subject to, owner financing, wholesaling, hoteling, flipping. We cover how to structure your business, how to build your empire, how to make it bulletproof. Mm-hmm. And we've now offered many courses, and I just pulled it up and I see they're on my website now. Didn't even know that.
Do it too
Learn
much,
something
man.
every day. Just fast. But yeah, so we have systems, how to structure your business, how to do systems, a whole module on virtual assistants, property management, how to get private money. I get in detail. I'm a psychology major, and I'm really big on the psychology of just business in general, and how you talk to the seller and how you do business. And then I do student housing, Airbnb, online auctions, how to control property without owning it, mobile homes, anything that can make money, just anything to put in your toolbox. We crammed it all into one university. So, and we're having just an absolute ton of success, though. And I'm pretty sure I got some students that have logged in, so that's good too.
Very good, very good. So are we on the correlation of the direct mail and the Facebook? Is there a logo or just is there a big phone number we want to make sure it's on here? Or how are we relating the two?
Yeah.
Because they see
Anyway,
the ad.
any way you want to do it, you can do a yellow card. I got one right here. You can do one of these yellow cards.
Mhm.
This one doesn't have a logo on it. This one's just a plain and simple one.
Gotcha.
But all you have to do is just add that picture, add that logo, anything that this is. I can tell you this one. This is an old one. This was for a specific. This was for a specific property I was trying to get. But yeah, you can put your logo on there. Obviously, your company name's on there. Just make sure they match. Make sure it's. But if you got some people are creative and have a cool picture of a rose or something, and then they put that on something that catches the eye, and then when you see it on, they correlate it in their brain.
I've used horses. I remember Robin Thompson said use horses running. I've used that before. It's worked for me also.
Yeah, anything to catch the eye, anything to make, marketing is all about how big do you look. I can remember when I first started and we had one or two houses, whatever, it was only the first few weeks, so we only had one or two properties. And I can remember a seller calling in, and going, "Hey, I got on y'all's website and everything. And boy, y'all got a pretty big operation going there, don't you?" Like, "Oh yeah, we do. Sure." No. But it needs to appear that way. And think about someone direct mail. Okay, that's great. Maybe they go to your website. Now, direct mail, gosh, they see you on social media. Now they see your website.
And then YouTube
anything
video.
And your YouTube video, whatever it is. And that's just one more thing that catches the eye and gives you validity. You're bigger, you're big. Mm-hmm. Any advantage you can get over your competitors, anything.
So I just want my viewers to know this isn't necessary. It works. They both work. Matter of fact, Matt, I didn't buy the one last week, but I got beat out by one guy. Some people want to sell to small investors. You just don't know. Everything works. Nothing doesn't work.
That's why, like, if you go to our website, mk8properties.com is kind of the website I use for our property. Mm-hmm. And ours is designed to look hometown, and then we have other MK8 home buyers. So maybe when we do stuff out of town, different states and stuff, we're using that to maybe look, like you said, something like, sometimes they want you to be small town next door. Sometimes they want you to be, no, I trust corporate money more because there's more of it.
You never know.
Whatever. Same way when you're dealing with lenders, private lenders. Sometimes they'd rather lend money to all shucks next door. And you just got to be ready. So,
yeah, ready, fire, aim. It's weird. I look back because I used to be a home investors franchise, and I'm like, some people want to deal with the big guys, and some don't.
Yeah, and you better be ready for both. Be able to sing like both.
It's rough, isn't it, man? We got to be good gracious, you got to be everything.
Absolutely.
Tax day is here. Tax day. I got to file an extension this year, man. I didn't have everything ready today.
Yeah, you say that. I hope my account. I texted him this morning because that's when I do my tax for my extension. My tax day's in October every year, man. I don't know. I'm the guy at October 15th running in with my crap. Man, between, I don't even know how many LLCs we have now. That's actually my next hire. I have to have. I don't know if I can afford a CPA in my office full time, but that's what I'm going to shoot for, or just a full time certified bookkeeper. I have to have one. I have different people who keep books in the different business, but now I have formed an enterprise that oversees the LLCs, and I've got to do something. It's crazy now, which is a good problem to have. It's out of control, man. It's out of control. But I can't find any money. I don't know where the money's going. So probably those 6 kids. I can't find it.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, if the IRS kicked down my door, I'd be like, man, you really should just go to the next guy now.
Wrong. You're the wrong.
If you woke up with my money tomorrow, you'd hate yourself and hate life.
The good thing about it is, Matt, I look at you as successful. A lot of people think having a bunch of cash is quote unquote rich,
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at, but it's like,
Yeah.
the income stream, cash flow. Would you rather have cash flow or large chunks? Where are you at?
I could care less about large chunks of money. If I have large chunks of money, it's going to be gone because I'm going to go
Get
buy
rid of
something
it.
that cash flows with it anyway. Yeah. Cash flow is king, buddy. Cash. I mean, like just while we're sitting here, I get QuickBooks. Someone just paid you, whatever. I like that QuickBooks all day long, man. Somebody just paid you. Somebody just paid you. Somebody just paid an invoice, and that's all day. I don't even turn that alert off on my phone because it's motivation. Now, large chunks, and like I said, man, I just bought a business, with no money. I don't need large chunks of money.
Nice. That is so cool. So let's get into a little bit before I let you go. Before we get into Q&A class, you were talking about systems, Matt. What do you mean by that?
Well, from systems, it can mean a couple different things. And, we're always adjusting. And my team would get on here and probably laugh at about half of what I say. But because it's a lot of it's on the fly, a lot of it's adjusting, a lot of it's my team just trying to keep me from getting my hands in there because I just mess stuff up. Coming in there with a good idea fairy. But the biggest thing is, do you have a systematic approach to what you're doing? In other words, are you systematic on Facebook? In other words, is there a process? For example, for us, a new property comes in, it goes into Podio, a marketing sheet gets filled out, bam, it immediately goes to Jeff on the marketing team. He sends out
we'll call it a PIS.
Yep. He sends out the voicemail blast. He sends out the email. He sends out, he immediately does the Facebook ad. He immediately does all the social media, whatever, different things happen depending on the exit strategy. Yeah. All those things are happening up. And then, so that's a sale. And if it's a buy, very similar. Do you have your system in place for, do you have a method? Are you just shotgunning every now and then I do a mailer, or every now and then I do a Facebook ad? Now, there's nothing wrong. You need to market test. I mean, don't just go out there and spend $100 on a Facebook ad and hope it works. No. If you got to do a $10 one and you get 5 likes, oh, okay, I got some likes. Maybe if I put 20, okay, and I got 40 likes. Okay, I got a little leverage behind this. Maybe I can run with this and I'll spend $50. So you have to test your market. And listen, if you pay $40 for a Facebook ad and after 3 days you don't have any traffic, pull the ad off. Don't think you have to spend the $40. Adjust it and do something else. Let me give you the best advice I think I can give you when it comes to Facebook advertising. And I'm sorry, I know we were talking about systems.
You good, Matt. Don't forget it.
Yep. Is all you have to do is do what other people are doing that's working, right? If you see a Facebook ad that's got a bunch of shares and a bunch of likes, just copy what they're doing. It's not called copy, I think. What do we call that? We're doing, make it your own. You can't just copy it verbatim.
Research
it. But look, for example, I opened up an Airbnb here in my local town, and people are like, man, how much did you spend in research knowing that would work? I said, I didn't. I looked on the interstate and seen they were building 2 new hotels, and I know they spent a lot of money in research. They don't just build $1 million hotels. I'm just using someone else that's working. It's no different in e-commerce, Chris. You know that if Grant Cardone puts out a video and he's, the new thing is they walk through their house and walk, do this and out there, and I see 1 million shares, whatever is working, just clone it. You don't have to figure it out on your own. So if you see an ad, maybe from a local competitor or whoever, and their ad has a funny picture on it with a funny caption and they're getting a ton of shares, then go find you a funny caption and a funny picture and test it and see if it works. Don't try to reinvent the wheels, what I'm getting at. So
nice.
Yep.
And go ahead, Matt.
No, go ahead.
I was wanted to ask you about, no doubt, we aren't taking phone calls from sellers directly, which I did at the beginning. I didn't even, there was no internet working when I started.
You're old.
Oh yeah. So I want my viewers to understand, if you're the first point of contact in your business, then you damn near just don't have a business. So where are you regarding that first point of contact with your sellers? Does that go into regarding systems wise?
Yeah. So if it's a call from a seller, they don't even get somebody live. We use for that we use CallRail, and we have one number dedicated to people buying. So we use CallRail. So if you call that same phone number, is going to be on this mailer. That's what's going to be on all the. We know if they call this number, they are a seller. Yeah, I don't want to have to distinguish what I'm talking to. I know that number came directly from marketing. I can gauge it. I know where it came from.
You can measure it. You know exactly by default.
You got to know what works, or else you're just trying. So they're going to get a message. Hey, and it is my voice, but hey, thanks for calling MK8 Home Buyers. Want someone on our team get back with you, leave the address, etc. And then the next one in contact is going to be an acquisitionist. That's probably going to be Shay. She's going to make the call. She's going to take them through the process.
Wow.
Or they've went through a virtual assistant who's cold called them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, all their job is to set the appointment up. Again, an acquisitionist will then call and see if it's an actual warm lead, and then figure out if we need to go any further, figure out if it's a deal or not. And then the whole process starts. All that's getting loaded in to our system in Podio. We know exactly where we are, where it came from, how it came there. Did that lead cost us money? Was it a free lead? Did we get lucky? Was it a referral? Mm-hmm. Got to know those things, because if in other words, if 70% of my leads are coming from Facebook, guess where I'm spending my money the next month?
Yeah, right there
on Facebook, right there. Or whatever. So,
yep. Nice. Systems, they are just so important, man. I just, as I'm on vacation, I remember, I guess brick and mortar businesses, it's hard for them to grow if you're the one running it.
Yeah.
But with systems in place, the joint can move without you even being there, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's also important. I think about, because I was an estate planner. For me personally, my wife is not involved in the businesses, right? Mm-hmm. And I have 6 kids, and I have enough life insurance to where I don't go near the stairs around her, so she'd be fine. But my wife, at no fault of hers, if something happened to me, she would have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
She would have no idea. She wouldn't know how to run the business. Yeah. So it should be able to run itself.
Yeah.
At least for a time being, while she could figure it out. But like you said, if I'm the only guy and I do it, or I go down for a while, even if I just got sick and she has to run it, she should be able to pick that playbook up and drive on. Wow. And know exactly what's going on. Nice. And there's a lot to it, and especially when you get into my lane and you have so many different businesses going. Mm-hmm. It's extremely important, but the systems allow. It's an entire module inside the university. But like you said, it's the efficiency, but it's how you can track what's not working and where the hang up is. Just like keeping track. If I have a virtual assistant that made 100 calls and they only got one appointment, I know where the problem is. They obviously have a problem. Moving. But if I just get one appointment, how many did you call? Well, I'm not sure. I have no idea. You have to know where along the line where the kinks are, and the follow-up, and follow-up's one of the biggest things. Dedicated to following up and so on and so forth. So yeah, you got to have systems. And I'm a military guy, so
yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't fight the system sometimes.
We all do.
And I am the most guilty of screwing the system up. Right.
Personally,
we need to have systems. And then I never follow them. Because I'll call like, hey, I got this house. Did you do a lead sheet? No. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to do a lead sheet? Yeah, that's the system. Oh, we'll do a lead sheet.
It's hard doing that stuff, Matt. I don't know. You're like the pilot. It's hard for the pilot to do all the stuff. You got to worry about all the people. It's challenging. Oh, I would ask you, is it challenging for you?
Well, sure, man. For me, it's challenging because of my personality. I just, I'm just this kind of guy. I'm worried about the next one, and I've got big plans for everything, and bite off more than I can chew on purpose. Mm-hmm. But I got a great team and great people that work with me, and I'm very fortunate to have Shay and Jeff and people on the team. And but yeah, it's important. But you know what? You still got to tweak it. For example, it's no secret, buying subject to and so forth right now isn't as easy as it was 6 or 7 years ago, right?
Why do you say?
Well, I'm just saying, and I wasn't doing it then. what I mean is I'm waiting for a down market to where I know it'll get a lot easier. I'm waiting for those banks. I'm waiting for those banks to tighten up.
I see.
Don't get me wrong. We're buying a lot of them. I just, not that I'm praying for a bad economy, but I wouldn't be.
It's coming, man. It's coming, brother.
What I was going with that is if you have systems in place now and you get good at it now, because let's just face it, wholesaling will take a dive. Market goes down, wholesaling will definitely take a dive. I never advise you make your entire living at that. And then terms comes back to the top and your systems are already in place, man. You've already got the follow up for these and that stuff's going. You've already had people you called a year ago. Now they had that for sale and that downturn came. You're walking in as the only option. My goodness. You won't be able to keep up with the phone calls.
So I love being the only option, man. That is just the best way to be.
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
No, it's awesome. It's a great business, man. You know this.
One thing, well, I love real estate. I mean, I love it. It doesn't keep me up at night like excited anymore, but I still know that I have to do it.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I couldn't sleep thinking about real estate.
Yep. I still get that way. Usually it's tenant issues, but
I got 2 today, by the way. Just so
man, I'm gonna definitely don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into that today.
Matt, 2 things I want to discuss, and then we get the Q&A. Matt, how in the hell? I want to thank you for dumping this on me too. How in the world do you get stuff done so quickly? Where did you get that? I want to do it right now. Even when we talked the other day, you were like, when you want to do the next thing? I'm like, how about this time? Let's do it.
Yeah. You're asking, where do I get that mentality?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I guess DNA, right? I'll tell you this, 2 things. One, it's just how I'm built, man. It's about getting stuff done. And let me give you an example. So one example is, how many times have you ever went up to somebody and maybe you see them at a chamber event or whatever, like, hey, man, let's get lunch. Yeah, man, let's get lunch, man. That'd be great. And you never call each other.
A lot.
So I used to I got in the habit years ago as a financial advisor, because you're hoping to get those people, go to lunch, make them a client, right? I got in the habit of going, especially in this day and age, hey, Chris, man, I'd love to get lunch sometime. Would you like to do that? Yeah, that sounds great. What are you doing Tuesday? And booking the appointment right then. And what you'll find is more times than not, it will happen. It will actually happen. So it's something so simple, but it's just not letting it go. It's just making it happen right then. I don't need to think about it. I am a big believer in your first reaction is probably the right reaction. And I don't need to analyze it. The cool thing about it in real estate, especially for us in creative financing, even if I don't get the best deal in the world, I'm still going to be able to make money. I know I can. It is very hard to lose money the way we do it. Very hard. Losing money means you just didn't make as much as you could have. It doesn't mean you're going backwards. You really have to. So your brain already knows. I mean, I don't need to go home and crunch numbers. I know. Like this morning, I look at the house. What do you owe? Okay. Yeah, got it. Okay. And then I ask that magic question, man, this is a great house. You could rent this thing, man. It's beautiful. Why are you selling it?
Why are you selling it?
And then I listen, that golden silence. And then, I just know that the next QuickBooks alert is coming within a month, right? But man, just did it right then. And I'll tell you, where I live, the kind of the Mecca real estate investor from where I live, 62, I won't name his name, but he worth probably 150, 160 million dollars. Just sold his apartment portfolio for 80 million here about 3 months ago. Made the comment, hey, I've made all the money I can make, spend in my lifetime, and I just want to have fun now, right? Wow. And he got killed in a car wreck last Monday, I think, or last Tuesday.
You lying, Matt?
No. So the answer to your question is, man, literally walking distance from his house, man. And
oh wow.
The point is, why do I do it now? Because I don't know what tomorrow can bring, man. You better do it now. You better do it now.
Both of my mentors are gone. One was 50 when they passed away, but one was a little older. Mm-hmm. Wow, man. I think about that with me too. I'm like, damn, do I need to go spend more now? Where do you get
Yeah.
Dude died.
Yeah. Well, he said he's going to, I actually never met him. I did business with him, but he had such a big team. He was always on he had not a plane, the man had a jet, and he flew around hunting all over the world and did things, and he lived a great life, but 62 years old, man.
Wow, that's young.
So you need to do it right then. And you know as well as me, man, I think the biggest thing that separates us in this business is the people that do it and the people that don't. My last podcast, I brought in a 19-year-old kid who has already flipped his first house.
Wow.
And he said, I just didn't want to think about it. I just did it. Well, I guarantee you he'll be unbelievably successful. But the biggest thing was he goes, man, I realized you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. Wow. And that's the biggest thing. Just do it. So I don't wait, man. I just do it.
Nice.
I should come up with a shoe and my logo be just do it.
Crazy.
I'll work on that.
Class, thank you for joining us today. Matt hanging out with Matt Lyerla. Now, marketing systems, the last one real quick. Let's just touch before we get out of here. Negotiating, Matt. How does one become a master? In my experience, you just got to be a master at spitting out words, bro.
Very much. I teach overcoming the objection before it ever comes out. You need to learn how to overcome an objection before it happens. I highly recommend Chris Voss's book. I was fortunate enough. I was with CID, Criminal Investigation Division in the Army, and got to see Chris at a deal at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where he taught hostage negotiation stuff for the FBI. And his book, Never Split the Difference, which I'm sure a bunch of your listeners have heard of. But Chris is great. But you need to overcome the objection before it comes and learn how to overcome. It's going to happen. You shouldn't be surprised. You should make your offer and then wait for the first objection, right? And then make your counter offer and wait for the objection. But so many objections can happen just or you can overcome by just getting the elephant out of the room during the conversation to begin with and overcoming the objection before it ever comes, right?
Almost like making fun of yourself before they can.
That's exactly right. Hey, just want everybody to know I got a spot on my shirt. All right, let's move on.
It's over. Wow.
Let's move on. Yep. Because we know the spot's, we know I got a birthmark on my neck. So let's move on because you're going to stare at it the whole time. Now let's move on, right? Mm-hmm. It's no different negotiation, and learn to be quiet, as you know. Learn to be
quiet.
Ask that magic question, why are you selling? And then wait.
Shut up. Why are you selling?
Yep.
I think Dan Kennedy says listening is a lost art form, Matt. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many great quotes, but and again, you and I are talkers, so this is something we have to work at. Yep. Because I like to lead that conversation. So you have to learn to do it. Again, it's a beauty of real estate. Whether you're a loudmouth talker like me, and I wait for the objections, I love it, or you're a very quiet, taken back person, it doesn't matter. You can learn to ask the right questions in the right place. And whether you're a talker or not, most of the time you need to be quiet anyway. Mm-hmm. And then lastly on that, when you're negotiating, right? If they accept your offer, shut up and quit trying to sell something they've already bought. Mm-hmm. I see so many deals fall through in sales in general when people go, hey, would you like to I'll give you this for your house. Okay, sounds good. Okay, great, man, because I can do this and that. Shut up. They've already bought. Get the paperwork out and sign the paperwork. Quit selling something they've already bought. You'll just confuse them, and you'll bring up other objections they weren't even going to have. So,
nice.
Yep.
Ask the question and shut up. I think a lot of my clients, too, I'm like, when you ask them this, what did they say? Well, I didn't really ask them, I didn't ask it that way. Why are they selling? Well, and then they almost speculate, Matt. They're thinking for this. I'm like, why are they selling? Well, I think they want to move to California. Do you get that a lot too?
Yeah, I tell people never assume that the person you're sitting across from is in the same financial situation you're in. So it works both ways. So in other words, if you can't afford $1,000 a month payment, don't assume they can't, or don't assume they can just because you can't. Make them answer their questions, and then don't answer questions they didn't ask. The old pulled over by a cop. Do you know why I caught you? Yeah, I was speeding. I got somebody in the trunk, and I'm packing heat without a permit. Well, actually, I was just pulling you over to let you know that you didn't use
Your
the turn
light
signal.
was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dummy, don't answer questions they don't ask you. It's not being deceptive. You're just opening yourself up. The old adage: when someone buys a car, what are you looking for? Why are you buying? Well, we need to be able to haul my 2 kids around, be able to load groceries in the back, and we want good gas mileage. Great.
Nice.
Do you know what kind of muffler is on the car? Do you know what kind of ball bearings are in the? No, you have no idea. You don't need to know. Does it meet the need? Don't answer questions. You're just confusing people.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. All right, we've been on here for an hour, Matt. Let's get to some Q&A, my brother. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I see some subject 2 questions coming in.
Oh, here they come.
Matt, I'm like, huh?
Legal money laundering, right? Is that what they're going to say?
My thing is, I could talk about subject 2 almost every day, all day. I mean, I just could with the questions, but I'm like, I've got to almost pull myself off of it because I stay on it so much. What about you? Is that a lot of hot topic?
Absolutely, all the time. It's how I buy most of my houses, so of course it is.
Somebody on here already saw it. Larry, hey Larry. Thank you, class, for allowing Matt and I to pour into your lives. The more I pour, the cup gets full. Don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Larry Atkins, hey brother. Yep. He wants to know, when you take a property subject to and then lease with an option to get out of it, do you have to keep 2 insurance policies in place? So Matt, let's see what Matt does. I don't know.
Yeah, so you're going to have the homeowner's insurance because subject to, they still have a mortgage, so there's going to be mortgage, and then your tenant is going to need to get a renter's policy that will cover contents, because the insurance policy for covering the loan stuff will not cover contents on a rental property.
Nope.
So the answer is yes.
So 2 insurance policies. Larry, let me add on to what Matt's saying. For me, it all depends. If I have a house and it's a lot of equity in it, I'm gonna get my own insurance policy and keep the one in the seller's name. And I would still require the tenant to have one also. But every investor's different. Matt has the way he does it. I got mine.
Yep.
But only one's gonna pay out. You ain't gonna be filing 3 insurance policies.
Yep. And I was in insurance for 10 years too, so that makes me even more of a geek. So
yeah, Well, Matt, let me ask you, since I buy the house subject to, I'm additional payee. I mean, I'm another loss. What is it? Loss payee, right?
You're additional insured.
Additionally insured.
Secondary insured, whatever it's called. Yep.
When the check comes, I don't want to have to talk to nobody. I just want to go cash my own check.
Yep. If you're secondary, then they'll pay the loan off in the original name, and then the difference, their name won't be on the check. It'll be you or your company or whatever. Right.
It'll be it's going to be the seller in my name, right?
Not if you're not if it's done right as an additional insured. No.
Explain that, man. How does that work?
I'm going to mess the terminology up, but what Chris is saying, guys, is if there's a mortgage and there's insurance on the house, and the seller's name is on the mortgage on the subject to, so they're going to stay on the insurance policy. They need to be on the insurance policy. The bank's going to want to. The bank's going to want to see that, because that's who's liable. That's what connects the bank to the insurance policy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if let's say the payoff's $70,000, it's insured for $100 to keep it easy. Yeah. So if the house burns down, that's $70,000 first mortgage holder. Then if you're listed as the secondary insured, I'm pretty sure it's secondary. Yeah, secondary insured. If it's additional insured, it joins you.
Gotcha.
So then that $30,000 difference is going to have the seller's name and your name, and you could possibly have a mess on your hands, but you've got the contracts to back it up. But it's still a fight. The point is, you get a check and you can't go. They may mail it to them.
They might.
Neither one of you can cash it because both of your names are on it. Yeah. But if you're secondary insured, just like a first and second mortgage, the first mortgage gets paid off, it goes to the second mortgage, right? So secondary insured, check does that. Then that $30,000 is going to go to you. Their name's not going to be on the check.
I never knew that one. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I'm like, man. Anyway, everybody's different. If I got a bunch of meat on it, I'm gonna get my own policy, Larry. If there's no equity there, I don't care if it burns down. I just want to get it paid for. Yeah,
and I'll take it one step further. If it's no, that's really for an owner finance. If it's never mind. If it's owner finance and it's less than $50,000, I'm just going to self-insure it anyway. If it burns down, I could build another one. So yeah.
Larry, that's a good question, Larry. Everybody wants to know about that. Yep.
Good question.
Edward Porter, thank you. Edward, I think I might owe you something. Email me, my friend, if I'm missing something for you on that. Thank you so much. And Daniel. Daniel, thank you for hanging out with us, my friend. Frank, did I get my email? Yes, I got your email, Frank. I will send you a reply to that. Daniel says, thank you for your services, Brother Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Daniel, okay, we talked about marketing. We already covered that one. Oh man, Daniel's here today. Good calling means. Daniel wants to know. Okay, got another one here. Matt? How much would you spend on Facebook ads? He's saying between $5 and $50 a week. He's curious about that. Getting started.
That is completely up to your budget. I mean, when you get on there, Facebook does their math. So when you get on there, as you know, and you target your market and you get as specific as you can, it's going to give you a recommendation. I recommend just following the recommendation Facebook gives you, seeing if it works. If it works, you can put more money behind it. If it doesn't work, stop the ad and try something different. Test your market. Yep.
Testing.
And a great book on that is I can't remember the author, but it's basically you can Google 1 million followers in 30 days. Or I think that's the name. Just if you Google that, it's a white book, and I cannot remember his name. I read the book. Great book. Within the first 3 chapters, it will bring you value in your Facebook marketing.
Let me do that then. I need to get that one, Matt.
Yep, very good. He's the social media guy behind Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Katie Couric, a bunch of big ones. So
I hear you dropping some names too on what's my boy Russell Brunson.
Russell Brunson, yeah, he's the ClickFunnels guy. Yeah.
But not only that, just the concepts that he drops. Yeah,
he looks like he's 12, but
But that tells me that I can see your mind. I mean, Russell Brunson has nothing to do with real estate, but he's, on the marketing now.
Nobody's making me money. Yeah, I mean, but he's at the Grant. You know how much he made at the Grant Cardone 10X conference in his 90-minute presentation.
How much?
He had a little over $7 million in 90 minutes, selling his.
Wow.
Bless his heart.
Unbelievable.
He's $1 million for $1 million. He'll come into your business and fix your marketing. So there you go. Tell your guys for $1 million, Russell Brunson can make you a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That 1 million followers book is very good. In the first few chapters, it brings value.
I'm gonna get that one. Well, Russell's book too is new one he has with Expert Secrets was a beast too.
Yep, yeah, I've read that one. I've read all of his.
Paris, hey Paris. Daniel asks, how much is your coaching courses, Matt? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so it's broken down, and we've added a payment program now because a lot of people that works for. So our full course to get inside the entire university at alluniversity.com, and like you said, Chris has a link somewhere below, is if you purchase it outright, it's $53.99, so $5,399. It's one time. We don't hit you with buy this and buy this too. It's one time. You have lifetime access. So if things update, like if there's something else on the Dodd-Frank or the market changes, we add updated videos. It's that way it stays relevant, and you always have the course and the forum. If you need to make payments, we will do payments, but it'll be $59.99, and we do payments of like $1,500 a month. We've got a lot of people that are doing that, and then we've now offered mini courses. So in other words, if you just want to learn around $500 and something, I will say with the mini course, you don't get me. So my students get me. You get my email. You have access to my team. In other words, you have a contract question, you're going to get to go directly to my acquisitionist.
Nice.
And they're going to send you the contracts. They'll help you do your contracts. I have a twice weekly live Q&A call, and they have access to me. They have Voxer where they can, while we've been sitting here, I've got students. So I give as much access to me and directly helping you. They send me their deals. We'll analyze their deals, and we don't split anything. So, and I've closed. I have done FaceTime with sellers, with students, to close deals and stuff.
You're a money man.
Yeah. So, and I got students we have just had a podcast with one of my students in his first. He's not even 4 weeks in, or he is 4 weeks in. He's got 5 cash flowing properties now, 20 grand in the bank.
Wow.
And he's the guy that's got the base. So we've got a lot of success, and we've got students all over the country, coast to coast, north, south, east, and west. So
nice.
Yep.
I'm honored to be with you, man. I'm just honored, my friend.
Same here, buddy. I've noticed that your subscriptions have gone up even since the last time we were on here, man. So good for you, buddy. Congratulations on that.
Man, we just blessed, man.
Yep.
I'm just blessed, man. I'm just
buddy.
thinking every day I'm waking up. Let me ask you. I don't think about the money making it. I think about it's almost like an entrepreneur. I walk and I look for just value. Almost value just kind of peeps his head through at me now, Matt. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, and just value / learning. One of the greatest things I love about real estate is just how sharing people are and willing to give each other information. Like obviously I'm on here sharing and being specific, knowing that my courses get very specific, right? But again, you can bring value. I do that in the podcast.
Yeah.
But I do it because other people do it. And I've learned in this investment thing, if somebody's tight-lipped and quiet, they're probably not doing very well.
Basically.
They're probably not doing very well. They're just a big jerk, or they don't know what they're talking about, So
good point.
Of course, I've also learned a lot of loudmouths don't know what they're talking about either. So. But seeing students have very quick success, I truly mean it, is just, my wife will tell you, man, I walk into the kitchen and I'm showing her, look, man, I just got another text. Someone just got another house, another deal.
Wow, that's so cool.
Man, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Daniel wants to know how much newbies budget to get started, Matt?
Budget for marketing?
He didn't say here. I don't know.
That's probably what he means. Yeah. So if it's marketing, listen, my answer to budgeting is always the same. Everyone is different. That's why I'm not a Dave Ramsey fan. I don't give blanket advice when it comes to money, right? So
doesn't work like that.
Your personal situation is your personal situation. So however much money, if any, that you have, listen, you don't need any. And you can do a lot on Facebook with $20, right? So whatever fits, whatever works for you, again, trial and error on Facebook. So.
All right. Daniel Baird asked, where should we look for cash buyers? Where would you recommend that, Matt?
Well, not the unemployment line. That's probably not the best place to start.
Crazy.
Yeah, man, cash buyers. Again, it just, for me, cash buyers means two different things. It either means a cash buyer who I'm trying to maybe wholesale to, or it could be a cash buyer, someone going to put a down payment or a non-refundable option payment down. I consider those cash buyers too. So again, we use Facebook, we use social media. They're specific targeted ads. You will find on the high equity mailers that you'll get a lot of cash buyers who will call you off these mailers. We get a lot of cash buyers. So for example, if I use a high equity absentee owner, that's probably somebody who has rental property.
That's going to be me.
Yep. Me too. So I've never gotten a mailer, by the way.
What?
You'd be surprised. You would be surprised how many flippers will call you and say, hey man, I'm not selling that property, but I would love for you to add me to your list because I'll use your marketing all day long and find me deals. Yep. So that's a great place. Wealth Network is a good place. You can spend about $30, $40, get on Wealth Network, and they'll send you a data feed list. So that's good. I like targeted VAs call the courthouse to get the records who have done deals and who have give us all the cash listings that have been done in the last 12 months. And you can have virtual assistants do that for you, and then have somebody on your team follow up with them and confirm, are you still an active buyer? What exactly are you looking for? Where are you looking for them at? And added them to a feed, and then bam, then you're adding them onto your mailer, you're adding them onto your voice blast, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice.
So I hope I helped answer that question there.
Yeah. Daniel also wants to know, when is the best time to do the title search when you're going to be wholesaling, man? He's curious about that.
I never do a title search when I'm wholesaling. I leave that up to the buyer.
So you just wait for them to pull the wait for them to pull.
I'm not spending money on a title search. I'll let the buyer do that on a wholesale deal. Yeah.
Well, keep telling us that means you may or may not have a deal, though, or at least, Matt, you're willing to take that chance.
Oh, absolutely. If I got it, me personally, the hardest part to me is just getting it under contract. I'll get it under contract. I'll market it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we've gotten some. In fact, here in the last couple of months, I lost one because the math just didn't add up.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting other deals from that same cash buyer. It still brought me in contact with cash buyers. No, I'm willing, and we have so many coming in that I can do that. I'm not, if you have one deal and you're dependent on that one deal for 2 weeks,
Lord.
that's your whole business. Yeah, I understand that's your whole world. If you have 10 or 15, 20 going at one time, trust me, you're getting buyers and actively doing them. And have I lost deals that way? Yeah, but no, I'm not gonna do the title search. No.
Okay, that's cool.
Now, is my team checking records? Can you call the county and find out if there's mechanical liens? The fire department has a lien. Do like a soft search yourself? Sure, we do that. You can look up. You can Google liens. You can. We have access to TLO, so we can look up on TLO if there's any judgments or liens showing. We do that. I'm just not going to pay for a title search.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For me, it depends. I mean, it depends if it's smoker. I got a big chunk of meat. I'll pay the money. But if not, usually I just turn the paperwork.
I'm not against it at all. I just don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's different, man. I mean, every to me, every NFL coach has a winning strategy. For every team.
Yep.
Somebody is impressed with you, Matt. CC's Corner. David, I'm looking for pre-foreclosures to buy subject to, but I can't seem to figure out the best way to contact these prospects. What would be your suggestion, Matt?
They're looking for pre-foreclosures.
I'm looking for pre-foreclosures to buy subject to, but he wants the best way to reach out to them, to contact them.
Well, skip tracing them would be the best. You can skip. Yeah, I mean, skip trace them. I'm not good on skip tracing companies because I have TLO. I don't need a skip tracing company, so I'm not one to recommend a skip tracing company.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do simple things like Land Glide. You can get an app, Land Glide, and have it pull court records for you.
Yeah, you got it down, Matt. Land Glide.
Land Glide is an app. If I'm just going to warn you, if you're in a rural area, it isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
But you pull up the house. You can be by it, and it'll just pinpoint you there, or you can look at the address, and it will connect you to the court records that are on file and who has that. And then you just, kind of got to find them. You can have a VA call the courthouse and try to get those records. Deeds are public record, and then just look them up. I guess back in the day, they just got in the phone book, didn't they?
Man, I don't know how
before cell phone.
Man,
but it would have been a little easier, to be honest, to find.
Everybody was in the cell phone.
You can get their name. Finding out who owns the house is easy, but with cell phones, there's no phone book, so that's what's made it a little more difficult. So skip tracing.
You're right.
But yeah, you'd have to skip trace it for sure.
Matt, was it challenging for you to delegate responsibility? I'm sorry, Sarah speaks. Sarah, hey, thanks for joining us, Sarah. Was it challenging for you to delegate responsibility to others as opposed to you trying to do everything yourself?
Nope, because I know it's not scalable. If I try to do it all myself, there's no way I can grow. So no, and I don't want to do it all. I don't want to do it all. I want to do what I'm good at and let other people do the rest.
Wow. That's a beautiful quote.
Yep.
Beautiful quote. Yeah, you know what? I'm not good at certain things. I know I'm very good at raising money, but certain things I'm bad at, so I kind of stay in my lane.
Yep. I'm not very compassionate, so I definitely don't need to be dealing with tenants. I mean, I'm serious. I don't mean to not be, but I'm not compassionate. Where I think I'm being compassionate or understanding, I'm not, I guess. Apparently I'm being told. So, but Jackie's good at that, good at other things. Now there is some overlap. Shay's really good at talking to sellers.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to talk to sellers too. But I'm going to tell you, it's getting to the point. If I don't want to talk to, I don't want to talk to anybody, but I really don't have too much. If I'm talking to them, it's almost a done deal. Shay's got it to the point where it's almost a done deal.
You're coming in at the end.
Yep. Or she'll say, "Hey, this one, see what you think."
Gotcha.
Or I get a lot of, "Hey, I think you can close this if you get face to face with them."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So.
REI Real. Daniel wants to know, he saw you on, oh no, that's somebody else. Sorry about that. He's talking to Chris. They're talking to each other, Matt. I'm seeing questions, but it ain't for you. Sorry about that. Darren, I'm messing me up.
We have people talking in class. Is that what you're telling me?
Talking in class. Good gracious. Matt, I'm honored. Thank you for dropping in with me today. Final thoughts, brother Matt, on people getting started. Give us some blanket advice on what would you recommend, the biggest thing they could do to get started.
Yeah, take the leap, man. Get off the ledge. You just have to do it. You're not going to be able to figure out everything. You're not going to get all the information you can. It's just going to keep bogging you down and keep stopping you from just absolutely getting out there, getting a deal and starting it. And when you get that first deal, it becomes so infectious that you're just going to want another. And you're going to see how easy it truly is to do. My advice is just quit thinking about it and do it.
Stop thinking.
Yep. And have that millionaire mentor. Have a guy like Chris. Us inside the university, have someone who's been there and is already where you are trying to get you there, because, like in a podcast I just had, eagles don't flock. If you want to be an eagle, you don't see a pack of eagles flying. They're solo. Eagles have to find other eagles. So go find your other eagles, because eagles don't flock. Chickens flock.
I like that, Matt. Yep. I like that one. All right, class. In my efforts to raise your financial literacy, Matt Lyerla, we're going to have him on more and more over this year as we put together how this organically flows. All right, Matt. Oh, I had one other thing. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tonight, I'm going to be breaking down around 9 o'clock. I'm trying to go on now, class, every night if I can. I'm going to show you how I pay private lenders. I'm going to show you how we break it down to do that. Samuel had a quick. Oh, Samuel, you slid in real quick, brother. Okay, Matt, one last one. When he's looking to do a creative financing deal, if I'm looking, if there's a mortgage, what is the payment PITI, what they get for rent? Hold on, I don't understand that, Samuel. I'm looking to see if there is a mortgage. What is the payment PITI, what they get for rent? Is there anything that I'm missing?
Is he talking about how does he know how much more he can get or something?
Yeah, he wants to offer creative financing on the deal.
Oh, I think when you offer creative financing, you're trying to take it over for what their payment is. You're trying to say, hey, will you sell it to me for what you owe most of the time? So whatever their PITI is, that is going to be your payment.
Basically. All right.
I think what he's asking there is, once you get their PITI, how much do I know how to pay them in rent? Well, you're not paying them in rent. That is the payment, if that's what you're asking. Yeah.
That is the payment, yeah.
You are relieving them of that debt. Not assuming it, relieving them. Two different things.
There you go. And Matt, as I'm getting older, I am almost, I was listening to Ron say how he gives people rap notes. I wouldn't have done that before, but I'm thinking about the seller. I guess, is he doing that just out of the kindness of his heart, giving them a rap to where they have some peace?
I think it's more toward so they can, for sure, the debt to income's a wash, I think is more what it is. That debt to income's, yeah. So if they do a rap, it's for sure a wash.
Yeah, so they can show that to whoever they got to show
their debt to income. It's a wash. Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
I have found a subject to the banks that is a sale, and since it's a sale, the banks are washing that too, though. Yep.
What do you mean washing it?
So if they have $100,000 mortgage with a $500 payment, and they go to buy a new house or whatever, finance something, the bank goes, "Hey, you've got $100,000 debt with a $500 a month payment on your debt to income." Well, if they've sold the property, they have $500 coming in and $500 going out. That is a wash on their debt to income.
I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay, class. Matt, thank you so much, brother. And I'll be in touch with you.
Renting that house, that'd be about 70 cents on the dollar, if they're renting.
Oh, you froze up, Matt. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I'm just saying that was a wash.
Oh, it's a wash, but if they're renting, then, that $500 would only be about 70 cents on the dollar.
That's
so
right.
It's still going to show on their debt to income,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Good idea. Rap notes. Matt, how do people, so we got a link below that's going to carry them to the training that you offer for our class today?
Yep, that'll take them to the university, and it'll take them to the website, All In University website. Love for them to tune into my podcast at All In University, or I'm sorry, All In Investors on iTunes or SoundCloud. They can go to All In Investors, and the all in the course there. So,
okay, all right, class. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Chris.
Yes, sir. Peace.